Hello, Rhonda.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, friends. It is so lovely to see this geographically very diverse crowd here. We have folks tuning in from every corner of the US, it looks like, from also from Canada. It was wonderful to see everyone typing in the chat. If you could let us know that you can see us and hear us, just so we are sure that you're getting the full benefit of Rhonda's wisdom today. That would be wonderful. Very helpful to let us know. My name is Ashley. I'm with the Discover team here at Teachable, and I'm so excited about Rhonda's event with us today because she is an expert in a field that I find incredibly fascinating. So Rhonda is a demonstrator and has been doing this for before it was cool, not to get hipster about it, but Rhonda, you have been doing this work for about a couple decades, right?
It's been about 20 years that I joined. I was definitely young when I joined. I was in my early 20s and a single mom. And sorry, I was a stay-at-home mom. I've been married since I was 19. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I just needed some sort of an outlet. And I needed a friend. I just moved to Michigan and I didn't know anybody. I knew the little 10-year-old neighbor down the street and she was my only friend. So I went to someone told me it was a stamp party. So I was thinking like postage stamps, like stickers, how I used to always stickers. And I thought, oh, that sounds like fun. I threw $30 in my pocket and I went, but it was like rubber stamping, like crafty and creative. And I was like, oh boy, I'm in the wrong place because I'm not as crafty as that rock out there. So then the rest is history, because once you put that rubber to paper, it is like magic. It's like magic. It gives me chills even talking about it. That happens. Still to this day, 20 years later, it still makes my heart just explode. Just the creativity in general creates this euphoria in everybody. It's actually true that it helps your serotonin levels, and so many good things come out of being creative. And so it's something that, 20 years later, I am still probably just as goofy, passionate about it as I was 20 years ago.
Wide-eyed about it. That's wonderful. And I completely agree with what you're saying, and imagine that many of our friends tuning in from home maybe have had similar experiences. I think kind of globally, especially during the pandemic, we have all sought out ways to engage our creative muscles, whether we know it or not, because it's good for our mental health, right? The ability to see something transform. What I'm hearing you talking about with the magic of the rubber stamp is you're watching something transform at your own hands, which is a really lovely thing to explore. So I'm very excited that you stuck with it for 20 years and that we get to benefit from your energy and enthusiasm. So today we are going to be learning from Rhonda, and I'm curious to know, those of you who are here, and we've got a ton of folks thank you, by the way, for letting us know that the audio and sound, or the audio and video, is working well. Appreciate that. What inspired you to join us today? What are you excited to learn from Rhonda? Are you familiar with her work? Are you looking to expand your own toolkit? Because I can say, 20 years of this kind of work, not only has Rhonda sort of, developed this expertise in her own right, but also built an environment in which she can help educate others and introduce this discipline and this craft to people who want to learn. So we're really excited to get to do that today. It looks like we have lots of folks in the comments who are familiar with your work, Rhonda. So this will be a chance for you all to dive in with some questions and to learn. We're going to explore kit making today. So I'll keep an eye on the comments. There will be a replay available of this session after the live. So if you miss a kernel of wisdom, do not fret. We will make sure that everybody has access to play it back. And keep the comments coming. If you have questions, I'll be tracking those throughout. We'll keep some time for Q&A at the end, but we can also always bring up some topics during the presentation that will help make sure that you all are getting the most out of this. So Rhonda, wonderful to have you here. I will turn it over to you.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you so much. You said so many wise nuggets there that you didn't even realize. You haven't even listened to my presentation yet. And you used a couple words that I specifically focus on. One is a toolkit, and that's a thing I'm really going to talk about, is that we need tools in our businesses to be able to be successful. Whatever business you're in, if you have the right tools to use, then that helps you to be successful. So, but the other thing is, lots of people have the same tools. It's what you do with them, right? So we're going to talk a lot about what you do with those tools. And then you talked about the pandemic and how, you know, crafting or in general did have a big rise, and it's changed. It's changed how we craft. A lot of things are changing even as time goes. And so, yes, I've been crafting for 20 years, but I have been very avidly always changing with the trends. Still crafting, it's still at the heart of what I do, but we have to find ways to do it differently now than we've done it in the past. So today's workshop or training is going to be about one of the brand new tools that we have. Now, the concept has been around for a while, but now our company, Stampin' Up, is actually giving us some really awesome tools that we can use to help us grow. So I love that. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. First of all, thank you all of my amazing friends that are here. Your support always, just fuels me. You are why I do what I do. So I'm grateful you guys are here. And for those of you who this is the first time watching me, thank you for being here too. I know investing time is huge. Of course, when you invest money as well, that also is, when it's also a big commitment on your part. And that is one reason why I do charge for training. I've started a training business specifically for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. I've actually helped other creative people and other businesses along the way, but that's when I started it. And it was specifically because obviously I've had lots of success within this industry and this business, and so many people want help and they need help. And I was always pulled in a million directions and couldn't help people that I wanted to. And so 12 years ago, we're just getting ready to celebrate our 12th year training. And I started a specific real business for it. And yes, people have to invest in it. You invest time and money, but when you do that, then you take it more seriously and you put forth the effort that it needs. And one thing too is because you pay me, I don't have to give you any fluff. I tell you what's true, what's real, I don't need to impress you to be able to want you to listen to more, right? Like I love to teach from what realistically works. Another amazing blessing within my training business is that I also have my current business that I run. And I have almost 600 team members that I get to watch, my own personal business, and we learn from each other. And I get to learn from all of our training clients over the world to see what's working today. Not what was working 15 years ago, let me teach you from that, or what was even working 3 years ago might not even work today. So we really focus on giving you tried and true business practices that will help you grow your Stampin' Up! Business or your paper crafting business. Now, if any of you are watching that are not a part of Stampin' Up! And not a demonstrator, I hope your ears are perked to realize that, yeah, you can get paid, you can make money doing paper crafting, like something that is so fun. Yesterday, I made Christmas cards all day, and I got paid to do that, and I will make money from doing that. So work is work. We're going to put our hours in somewhere. So it's how cool is it that you can actually put your work into something that's as fun as playing with color, ink, paper, rhinestones and all that as well. So if you have any questions about wanting to join Stampin' Up, you can obviously message me, and if you go to my website, there's information on that there as well. But I'm here to answer any questions there is about that too. Super easy to join. All right, so it's the year 2021. We are still mid-pandemic, kind of post-pandemic, I think. Hopefully we're kind of pushing through that. But the year 2021, everybody is busy. Everybody's in a hurry. Everybody's looking for that quick, simple fix. It is just the nature of life, and I'm right there in that nature as well. But I still feel like we, at the heart of who we are, we want to embrace our past. We want to embrace the goodness and not lose everything that our parents taught us and our generations before. We know that that's the right and best thing to do. And so we want to try to get back to normal, but I don't think we ever will have the normal we had before. We're going to have a new normal. So one of the things that we have to offer is the fact that we want the experience of making cards handmade. Handmade is still the coolest thing out there. If you get a wedding invitation and it's been handmade, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, that bride is amazingly cool. Or a handmade birthday card, or anything that someone took the time. Because in the very beginning, I said to you, your time is valuable. You're here. I value that. You listen to me, you invest in me, you show up with me. That is valuable, the time that you give. It's the most precious commodity that every one of us have. And so when we hand make something, not only are we saying, okay, here is the money for it. It's actually when we say, here is the time that I spent to make this for you. That is still true. That is still true today. A text message is really fast and easy to send. Yes, it gives us a little heart flutter, but when we actually receive something in the mail and it sits on our counter or it sits on a desk for months and we get to oogle over it, that gives such an impact. So it's the time that we invest. But like I said, it's the year 2021 and we are out of the pandemic. So we are all running and going and trying to play catch up. I feel like I'm busier now than I ever was because everything that stopped is started back up again and everybody wants your attention. So we need things in our lives that are quick and simple. So what can be quick and simple in our industry, but also something that fuels the need of handmade, our pastime. And I'm gonna tell you right now, during the pandemic, the crafting industry grew by over 26%, specifically the paper crafting industry. It exploded. I know personally my business over the pandemic grew by probably 70%. I mean, I still today can barely wrap my arms around what happened to my personal business and my team's business. It exploded. So that goes to show you that what we do is powerful. It's not going anywhere. During a pandemic, if people didn't let it go then they're never going to let it go. They value creativity, a hobby. Obviously, when you have time, you want to do something that's worthwhile with your time. And that is making things for people, letting them know that you're thinking of them, you care, wishing them, making them smile. So this industry isn't going anywhere. But I do believe it needs to change. It's changing every year as we go. So I'm here to share with you a new program that Stampin' Up! Launched. And it's one that personally, actually, I've been running in my business for over 9 years. 9 years I've been running online classes where people order a class from me with me designing me or my team. I see some of my team members around here, Michelle, who helps me with some of my designing. So I have people who help too, but we design a class for them. And then we take the time to cut everything and we pack it up. We give them all kinds of fun product. Like here's one that I just did a couple months ago. But there is, we label everything and we give you lots of ribbon and little gems and jewels, and then all the card stock is cut and ready for you. So for somebody who's new or a novice, and then we send you directions, and you have directions that you just copy. You just do what I tell you to do, and your cards are going to be
my kind of crafting.
Exactly. So it is absolutely your kind of crafting, right?
I love it.
It's a crafting. And now the people who purchase my kits, Some of them are newer crafters. Some of them have been crafting for 20 years. So it meets a need for a lot of people. And we're going to go over why here in just a minute. But for 9 years, I've been doing that. And that means here, my team in my studio, we have to do all of the designing, the cutting, the packing, the prepping, and the shipping and the billing. It is an amazing system and it works. We literally probably send out of this studio between 500 and 600 kits a month. And that's every month. So it works. It's very effective and it only grows and grows and grows. So because of that, though, it does a lot of work. I have lots of helpers that help me and we have an amazing team. And the thing, though, is now Stampin' Up!, our company, is providing us with a tool where they do all that work for you. So they have these awesome boxes now that have in there the finished designed projects with the directions. So like I have to type all my own directions and take pictures and edit and learn how to, create PDFs, and which we can all do. Like anybody can learn that stuff. But now Stampin' Up! Is doing all of that work for me. And it is tidy, nice, in this beautiful little box. Everybody gets like their stamp, their ink, their block, everything is cut. So Stampin' Up! Is saving, for me, it's time. An incredible amount of time as a demonstrator that I can sell this kit and I don't have to put, 3 days worth of work and paying employees to put that all together. Right. So it is a tool that we have that is incredible. Now, this is not a new concept. Do any of you guys out there do that? Like I do HelloFresh, or there's Home Chef, or there's Freshly, there's Blue Apron. Oh my God. There's like hundreds of those, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But because the concept is the same. Now, like you just said, that's my kind of crafting because you are a new crafter. But for somebody like for me, we just want the work done for us. Even if you are an avid crafter, I saw one of my customers on here, Michelle Zigman. She's been crafting with me online for 12 years. She has literally purchased every single class I ever did. She's actually more talented than I am. She's giving me credit. I'm like, oh my gosh, she blows me away. She still orders every single class. And it's because even avid crafters or avid people who cook, we just don't want to work for it. Like we want the work done and we just want to enjoy it and follow a recipe. I don't want to think. Some people who design or some people who cook take hours planning it out, preparing it, even making a decision. Like when my husband asked me what's for dinner, I want to throat punch him. And then now he asked me what's for dinner. I'm like, let's go to the refrigerator. And let's see what brown bags do I have. So we have and guess what? We don't fight about it. Real. And it's relaxing. I absolutely love it. Yes, Jennifer Drake's on here. And she literally has never missed one of my classes either, ever. So the concept is the same. We want to have the work done for us, but also enjoy the process of putting it together. Those meals are really quick and simple to put together because they do, again, a lot of that prep work for us. But the finished product is so good. I don't have to wonder. I would always hate cooking before, where I'd put all this time and effort into thinking, planning, finding the right recipe, putting all this effort, and then it comes out and it was burnt, or it came out and it was bland, or it was too salty. Or one time I made pork chops and they stuck to the bottom of the pan and everything was ruined and I just had to throw it all out. Now, when we follow these recipes, they are tried and true. They have been done thousands of times. The end result works. That's what we're doing here. That is what we do on the Creating Success Training Program. We do things that are tried and true that have been done for thousands of people, thousands of demonstrators, and we give you a recipe for success. So and it's easy and it's a no-brainer and you don't have to think. Yes, I could plan and shop and cook for my meals all by myself. I might even save it. I might even save a little bit of money doing that. But of course, it's so much more enjoyable when it's all done for me. It's all prepped. I lay it all out. I get my glass of wine because I don't have to think. And then I can just relax and actually cook a meal that my family loves. I love it. I pay $37 per meal for 3 meals. So I spend over $100 a week. and I don't question it at all. It's the best money that I spend. Again, could I save money doing it myself? Yeah, but then I have all that work in there. I don't have to run out and get them. I don't have to even think about it. Now, when you think about that too, I still, in my house, I have to provide all the pots and pans. I have to provide, the olive oil, the salt and pepper, all the basics. They expect that I'm going to have those. And if I don't have them, I have to go buy them, right? That's a lot of the same concept of our kits as well. People, now the kits that come in the boxes, not really. Everything you need is in there, right? From everything is cut, but you're going to need a pair of scissors. Like you're going to need some basic tools, but you're going to want those, and then you'll use them over and over and over and over again. So for a lot of the kits and classes that I offer to my customers where I do the designing and all the work, I expect for them to be able to have some of the basic tools, and I tell them what they are. And then that way they can provide them. And they can use something they have. So if my HelloFresh said, Rhonda, you need to use extra virgin olive oil, and I ran out, instead I had, vegetable oil, I could substitute that if I wanted to. Would it be quite as good? Probably not, but I could. So crafters can do the same thing. They can substitute with something that they have already, or they can buy what they need from me. And that is where we are as demonstrators. Even when we offer kits, they are including a lot of product. They help our sales, right? We get paid commission off every kit that we sell. And then there's ways for you to be able to upsell a lot of the things that they're going to need and want to be able to complete, more kits down the road. I love these. Just so I want to break any barriers there for some of you who are demonstrators on here, and I see a lot of you are, that you get so hung up on, well, I can't do these classes to go because my customer won't have the exact stamp pad or the stamp set, and you don't, how are they going to make it? And I want you to understand that they can buy it from you. They will want to buy it from you, or they will use something that they have. Or we have options and tools now to offer kits where everything's included and they don't even need to own a stamp set. So there are variations and variables to offering kits in your business, and they are tools that work. So there's so many different layers to kits. Again, you can use the ones that the company creates and all the work is done for you, or you can make your own and everything in between. So the upcoming training series that I'm going to be offering, and we're offering it now, but it'll start in a couple of weeks, is going to cover both kits. How to use Stampin' Ups that are pre-done for those of us who want the easy button, save time, depending on where you're at in your business. And we'll also cover putting together some of your own kits. I really love a hybrid option. So let me show you guys one of these cool ideas like I'm talking about. We have so much to cover. So one of the kits that we offer, because again, we have right now there's 10 different ones, and a customer can log on to the site and they get to pick out whichever kit they want. So when you do a party or you do a class or you do a workshop, everyone can customize it to what they want. Somebody who might want something more, masculine or feminine, or something that wants, boxes. Somebody wants packaging. Somebody wants all of it. They can buy all of it. So this one is called the Anchors Away. Or was that what it's called? Yes.
I'm going to sorry to interrupt. I'm going to pop myself backstage so I can give you some more of the screen here so people can get a better view of what you're sharing. But just so everyone knows, I'm still on the chat and still here. And we'll be talking, the questions that are coming in are really great, and we'll be addressing those in just a minute. Yeah.
All right. So, oh yeah, look, now we can see them better. And it's probably backwards. Anyway, so this is one of the kits. So this kit is only $19, right? These are very affordable, and it includes all the supplies that they need to be able to make, the 4 boxes and 10 note cards. And so, but then now in comes me, who I am a little bit more of an avid stamper or crafter, or you as a demonstrator. Then now you can always upsell, right? You can add on. So I love to take those same things and then I make alternative projects with them. So now my customers are going to be getting something extra bonus from me. Why would they want to buy with me, right? Look how cute that is. It says, "You are a lifesaver." I love this one. It says, "You are my anchor," right? These are so sweet and simple, and they use most of the product. Well, it uses the entire stamp set, the ink pad, and a lot of the pieces. Like a lot of these pieces all came from the kit. All this ribbon, all these pieces were all in the kit. I just had to add a couple pieces of cardstock. So these are some options. There's many, many options of using these kits. So what is the one thing, though, that we all have in common who are watching right now? What's the one thing every one of us that are watching have in common? And actually, it's probably something we have in common with Ashley or anybody else in any industry. We all are looking, let's see, you guys might even have the answer, but we all are looking for new customers, right? Everybody has a shelf life. Just so some people will move on to something else, or some people will join your team, which is what we hope, right? Like I love people who join our team, and then they can use these kits in their business to build, right? We all are looking for new customers, or at least new friends that we have to stamp with. Stamping is always so much more enjoyable with friends. New customers, if you want to find new customers, again, this day and age, the year 2021, we need something quick and simple and easy to hook them in. It's not even the cards. It's not even the finished product that's going to hook them in. It's that euphoria I was talking about. It's the magic of creating something. That is what people will become addicted to. New customers need a gateway drug to want more of what we do. Now, I know that sounded really horrible right there. But it's true. Like what we do is an amazing addiction. It is like those who out there has a slight addiction to stamp sets or ribbon, right? How many bolts of ribbon do you guys have? Curious. If you had to take a wild guess, 10, 100, 200? Do you really need another ribbon? Well, yes, we do. Of course we do. It is what fuels us, right? It's normal. People who collect postage stamps or they collect, baseball cards. No one needs another baseball card either, or a pair of shoes. If you have one purse, it's good. You don't need 10 purses, right? So it is a normal human nature to collect things. And that is what we feed into. But at least with what we collect, we get to do something with it to brighten the world of others. We create things that we then, like you're a lifesaver, I get to send this to a friend to let them know that I absolutely appreciate them and that they did something huge for me. These are able to be used for something, and they're just really pretty to look at, obviously. So we need something, though, before people have a whole stamp room, there's something that has to get them hooked in that's quick, simple, and easy. They're not just, a new customer is not going to jump right in and buy the stamp and cut and emboss machine. They're just not going to do it. It is like going from, okay, I just started walking today. Pretty proud of myself. I'm going to run a marathon next week. Do you understand what I'm saying? We need to be able to have a tool that is going to ease people in, get them hooked, and then keep them going, keep them going, keep them going. And then you might be able to run a marathon a year from now. So I have a perfect example of a customer, and I'm going to do it. She is agreed to let me interview her, and she's going to explain the process for her because she started off with just a couple kits. And then she got a couple more kits. And then she became like addicted to the kits and wanted more of them. So then she joined Paper Pumpkin, right? Paper Pumpkin is absolutely like it's a recurring subscription kit, just like these, right? So that's kind of the next level. Now she just bought the stamp and cut emboss machine, but it was like 8 months of her buying. I also tracked she has spent over $1,000 in those last 8 months, but it started with a $19 kit. And then we went to another kit. And so then she started stamping on her own. So it is a beautiful example of this process that I'm talking to you about. Now, our avid customers will still love these, right? There are so many things that this kit offers. Okay, so those of you who are already stampers and crafters, what need does a kit serve for you, right? Why having something pre-made, pre-done, ready to go? What need does that serve for you? So for instance, again, going back to the meals, for some people, it serves a need of time. Like I don't have time to cook, so I need 30 minutes. Those meals are 30 minutes or less. Maybe it's I don't know how to cook. So these fill the need of just following a recipe and making good meals because I don't know what to do. Maybe it is just because you don't want to think about what to make. So there's so many different needs that are met through kit making. So what those of you listening, go ahead and start answering me. What do you feel like is the need that is met? Yes, Alex said portability. I have on here, they're portable. You can take them with you. So if you have to go sit at a soccer tournament and there's a 3-hour break, see ya, I'm going back to my car, or I just whip it right out and I can make cards at a soccer game, at a baseball game. So many of my friends have seen me up in the stands, stamping and making all the time. I don't like idle hands. Idle hands get me into trouble. So I like to keep my hands busy doing something that is so powerful and fun. So portability. When my mother was in the hospital and she had dialysis, we used to have to go spend hours with her. I had a kit with me every time. And usually it was my paper pumpkin. Yes, taking your kids camping. That's what I have on here too. You can travel with them. You can do them in the car. So they are portable, absolutely portable. They are convenient. Exactly. Again, like you might know what to do, but it's so convenient to just grab it, copy the instructions. You don't have to think. Are any of you OCD out there by chance, or like you, that's I don't know how to say, like someone, or any of you out there perfectionists where everything has to be perfect? A lot of my crafters are, and they get frozen thinking what to make. It's got to be perfect. I don't know what to do. And so that's a big need of a kit, is that it takes the thought process out. Now, once you get going, now you can have fun, because remember, lots of these kits include the stamp set, so they can keep on going and keep on going. But we need something to get those juices flowing to be able to do the rest. Now, what about an avid crafter? So somebody who, these are not just for beginners. They are for the newbies. They are for newbies, new people who want to craft, or for people who, like Ashley, like, I want to dive into this world that all these people are talking about. It's for my last customer. She wanted to start, but was very overwhelmed. So I'm like, let's start with some kits. Let's start there, and then it'll start to make sense to you. And then you eventually, now she makes hundreds of cards on her own, and she sends me all the time, right? So this is quick and easy for a new person of where to start. Because listen to what I just said, hand making cards is not going anywhere. There are people who make cards. Some of my most avid stampers are little 5-year-old girls, or 7-year-old girls, or 12-year-old girls. I have done mom and me classes. These are phenomenal for mom and me online Zoom classes or face-to-face. So you have crafters that start at tiny little ages, and some of my other customers are 82 years old, 89 years old. They are everywhere in between. Hand making cards isn't going anywhere. So we have to find those new customers, right? This is a quick and simple start for those newbies. If you are running a business and you want your business to grow, here's a secret. You have to find new customers, and we have to have the ability to be able to do that. Someone who travels a lot, right? Camping. It's that quick fix to get that creative euphoria going. My daughter-in-law, here's an example of that. She gets paper pumpkin just like I do, and a group of us do, and we get together and do our kits together on Zoom, and we have a lot of fun together, right? And we grab our favorite beverage, and we just sit there and visit and put together, and we show each other our alternatives that we make. Well, anyway, I was scheduling our next one, and she's like, sorry, I already put it together. I'm like, what? You didn't wait for us? And she said, I was having a really bad day, and I know that when I sit down with one of those boxes, I can feel the stress relieve off of me. So she said, I'll still join the Zoom. She goes, I'll just work on some of my other kits. So anyway, that's what I'm talking about. It is a quick fix to get that euphoria, to get that creative juices flowing. They're portable. They are affordable. So some of the kits are only $12. And then obviously they pay for shipping and tax. So then we jump up to the next bracket. That's $19. And those include, those will always include a stamp set and a stamp pad, and the clear block are in there as well. So they're $19. And then, but afterwards they are left with a stamp set that they can continue to keep using, right? Then the next step after that is our paper pumpkin. That's $22, and that just gets automatically shipped to them every single month. It's actually not more expensive because that's the shipping is included in that $22. Those are US prices. Paper pumpkin is available in Canada as well. So that is why it's great for our customers, right? And it is just a social event. Do you guys know all those paint parties, palette parties? You know, I just did one where we painted wine glasses. You can paint all kinds of things. It doesn't even matter what they're doing. It's a social event for friends to get together. I've had several of these kit making parties, and my friends come that don't even craft. It doesn't matter. They just want to hang out together. And these kits fit that need as well in a very affordable and portable way. Anyone, like I said, from the ages of young and kindergarten to, you know, living in a retirement community, anybody can put together these kits and use them. You can gather no matter where you are as well. So I saw some chatter over here, but I'm strictly online. These kits are perfect for the online demonstrator because they purchase them from its own website. You can do these Zoom parties. Zoom is the cheapest rental space I've ever had to rent. When I was doing live events, I was paying $40, $50 to $100 to rent spaces to hold my classes and workshops. Zoom is $14.95 for the entire month, and I can have up to 100 people with me, right? So you can do these classes, workshops, parties with a hostess, without a hostess, anywhere in the country, and people can join via Zoom, and you can craft together. So the concepts that I'm going to teach in the upcoming series and that you've heard today is for anybody, anywhere in the country. If you want to gather live to put these together, it's a great social event. Through the pandemic, every month we had friends, we got together and put together our kits. It was a social event, and we did it from the safety of our homes. You can do anything that you want to with these kits online as well. So the cool part is they will also get shipped directly from Stampin' Up! So that you don't have to have that extra work to have to ship them to them. Okay, obviously, I could continue to go on and on and on. I hope you're going to get to see, you understand the power of these kits. But now, what does it look like for you? Those of you who are trying to grow a business, those of you who are demonstrators, what do these kits look like for you? Now, I told you all these reasons why customers love them. Why would you love them? Listen, I'm not going to give you an easy pass here. I told you I'm not going to give you fluff. But there are 3 different levels of demonstrators that this meets the needs for. If you are a brand new demonstrator and you want to get doing classes, but it's so overwhelming, this is perfect for you. The work is done. The design work is done. You just have to invite people, ask, and you will get sales, which means you get paid your commission off every kit that you sell. It's sales-based. You get your sales. That means you'll stay active. You'll stay out of pending. Or guess what? You might actually make an income. How cool would that be? And you don't have to invest anything in these. Stampin' Up's done all the work. You just get to place the order and keep the commission. So many demonstrators, and this is why I'm so passionate about demonstrators, is we hold classes and we actually lose money because you're buying everything you don't need, or you're buying for 20 and only 3 people come. So a lot of classes end up costing you money if you are new and if you don't really know how to price a class. Where with these kits, you have no risk. You don't have to buy anything. You just have to provide the way for them to purchase them. So you are straight out making money from the minute you sell these, no matter if you just begin or if you've been doing this for 10, 15 years. Level 2 is that you use this as a tool to find new customers. Find a friend, find hostesses, find people who will invite their friends to want to craft with you. So that customer, we booked a class for her and 9 of her friends. And then another one that I just did was for a Mary Kay consultant. And she did it with her leaders in her team as a team bonding, team building. So now we get to branch out and look for hostesses. That is something that I did 20 years ago and 15 years ago. And guess what? It still works today. Some tried and true things never go away. Finding a hostess, finding a friend, finding somebody to facilitate it, to bring people in for you, that is how the quick button and how you find new customers. And then again, you get to hold your own as well. Monthly, every month, there's 10 kits and more will be coming out all the time. Level 3 is for somebody who is a leader. You have a team. You have your own business too. Like maybe you're earning that trip every year, or you're making bonuses, or this is your full-time job. So if that's you, which is what I would consider myself, I love these kits. I just did, this is a real class of mine, by the way, sold 47 of them. 47. And I was able to use these in my personal business. But what I love the most about these is that my team, my group, my new demonstrators who are walking in the door now have a tool to help them grow their business that is sales-based. How do I get paid from my team? It's when they sell. It's when they buy. And so we want to encourage sales, and these kits will be a way for our brand new stampers or longtime stampers who want to take it to the next level for them to be able to grow their sales. And when their sales grow, my income grows. And so the more they're successful, the more I'm successful. And so that is something where, as a level 3 demonstrator, I love these kits. I'm going to use them, and I'm going to teach my team how to use them as well, which is why I'm hoping lots of them are listening today. I've already seen a bunch of them on here. Listen, I told you I don't do fluff. I'm not going to give you the easy pass. There's no way that new customers just fall in your lap. I'm not going to say you can magically, I'm waving the kit, everybody come in, now come, all these new customers are going to come. No, that's not how it happens. It's not reality, and it doesn't happen that way. How it happens is when you are out there working hard, asking, sharing, giving people the opportunity. No one falls in your lap. You have to go out there. What I am giving you is a tool to use. Like I told you, Ashley talked about having tools in your tool shed, tools in your toolbox. This is an incredible tool we have to find new customers, to grow our sales, to help us save time. And remember all the time that will be saved, to help us make more money, to help us have the easy fun button, right? This is a tool. It's that when you hustle hard and you work hard, you will have that success. Your job would be easier, and you would be more profitable, and you would be duplicatable. That's a very important word in the direct sales industry. You need your team to duplicate what you do. Tools are extremely important for your success. Let me give you one more example to this. 5 years ago, I had the gastric sleeve surgery. And when I did that, you have to go through lots of classes, lots of work. 8 months. I had 57 appointments that I had to go to. And one of the biggest ones was mentally being prepared that you're going to lose weight, right? And that understanding that this surgery isn't what's going to make you lose weight. It's not. It's a tool that they give you to help you lose weight and to help you keep the weight off. I still had to choose. I had to choose to eat well then. I had to choose to eat the right things. I still make those choices today. But what that surgery did for me was give me a tool to use that it was easier to make the right choices. When I made the right choices, I had that success to go with it. But I still have to make the choices. I still have to work out and exercise. I still have to choose to not eat cake, but instead eat almonds, right? Like those are lifelong things. This is the exact same thing. These kits are a tool for you if you use them properly. It's not like this kit all of a sudden is going to make you successful. It is going to give you a tool that will work if you use it and if you use it properly. Same thing. A lot of people will use that gastric sleeve properly at first, but then they won't And then they gain their weight back. They go back to there, and sometimes worse than they started. So this tool will put you on the right path, but you have to choose to use it. Everyone can use that tool differently. Everybody who's, again, had that surgery will use that tool differently and choose to use it. But you have to make the choice to want to be successful. And now you are given a really good tool to be able to use. Again, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I know I've talked for a good at least half an hour, but I personally have built my business the last 12 years from offering kits. I am an online demonstrator. I don't blog, and I don't do lots of YouTube videos. I don't do that. How I've built my online business is through online classes and kits, retreats, events. And I am thrilled now that Stampin' Up! Is doing the same thing. So I can still offer all these without all of the work and effort behind it, but still that awesome success. You need to take that tool as well, and you need to use it. Kits give a recipe for success and fun. They are tried and true. This isn't some new concept. This is an amazing tried and true concept that now you get to choose to use. You are there just to facilitate it. Now we all have this immense tool. You don't have to be Rhonda. You don't have to be somebody else who I've perfected doing the kit. But again, 12 years. You don't have to be me. You can be you. And Stampin' Up! Has all those 12 years worth of work. They figured it out too. And you can do it as well. Now, this is a tool that you, again, can use with your customers, with your friends, with your team members, and with everybody in your family, and with you too, right? So this new training is going to cover all those things in depth, the how-tos, the actual how-tos, how to run it with a hostess, how to do a Zoom, how to do your own kits, how to do the hybrid option, how to train your team with it. So there's so much more. And obviously, we only have a half an hour, but those of you who are truly interested in learning more about it, then there is this course. Now, obviously, if you are a rubber queen, you are the heart and soul of my business, and everything I do, I work hard to teach and train you. So you will obviously automatically have that training because the better you do, the more successful I am as well. And then obviously all of my training clients, when you invest in that monthly training program, you will also have this training included as well. So the Business Builders Resource Library, you are going to get this and hopefully flourish with it. If you want to just do it one time and try this one course out, then there is a one-time option as well that I believe Ashley has already shared, and you can find it on my website as well, along with all those other programs that I talked about too. We've got lots of programs to help demonstrators run their business successfully and to run it easier and better. All right, thank you guys so much for being here. I absolutely love and support you, and am grateful you invested, again, your time to spend the afternoon with me.
Thank you, Rhonda. I did just drop the link in again for the one-time course that Rhonda was mentioning. So you have access to that. It's also pinned just to the top of the comment section here on the YouTube link. So anytime you want to access that, feel free. Before we dive into Q&A, please join me in thanking Rhonda for her wisdom, her generosity with her time and information. And from what I'm observing on the comments, this is characteristic of you and your work, Rhonda. So we thank you so much. I have seen a handful of questions coming in and would love to kind of jump to some of those. And they're it's interesting because, some of them are very specific and some of them are a bit broader. So I'm excited to kind of pepper both of those throughout this Q&A portion. I would love to start with a question that came in a bit earlier as you were talking about the new kit. So this is a specific one. There was a question about this specific paper quality for the kits. Is it something that's like I believe the examples were asking whether it was like a Stampin' Up! Model, or is it something closer to the pumpkins? What is Paper pumpkin. There we go.
I would say personally that is probably someplace in between. That most of the kits, the quality is what we're used to with our normal, just our normal regular products that we carry through Stampin' Up, because we have very, very high quality paper and cardstock. And I would say I have put together all of the kits. I've got all of them over here, and I'm surrounded by them because we've got so many, and they are our quality. In the beginning, some of our kits, for those of you who've been around for a long time, there was definitely like, paper's kind of flimsy. I didn't feel like that at all with any of the projects or the products. They are all, I think, high quality. They're not as heavy as like our regular cardstock, but again, some of them are. I think that each kit kind of varies. So the best thing I say to anybody is you just need to order them. And I ordered them too, and to play with them. So then I would know how to present them to my customers or present them to my team.
Yeah, just to kind of get your own vocabulary for how you would describe them, right?
Absolutely.
So Linda, that one was for you. Hope you're still on and got that answer. And then Alex was also asking a bit earlier, as you were discussing the variety of folks that we have both here today and kind of that you interact with in your in all of your business adventures. What are some tips? So for the folks who are newer, getting started, especially during this pandemic time when so much is defaulting to online, do you have any tips or advice for how to start strictly online if this is something that you're ready to take the next step for, but maybe the physical world isn't quite ready to be fully open back up yet for that?
That's a great question, Alex, because I'm sure a lot of people are feeling that way. And one of the things, even if people are meeting face-to-face, still having that online component is extremely powerful. So I teach that anyway, even if we can gather face-to-face, why not add in that online option? So if you asked me this 4 months ago, I need to build my business from scratch online, I would say, oof, you better buckle down. You got to have at least a good 2 or 3 years of consistency, of sharing, of posting, of emailing, of producing content in order to be able to start growing followers. Now, this is why I am so excited about these kits, is because it does give us a way to hold online classes, online parties, online things. And obviously you'd use Zoom, or you could use a Facebook Live or a Facebook group or something. You'd have to have, I have found Zoom to be one of the most user-friendly for this kind of concept where we can all gather, because you can see each other, and then, but you would teach how to put the kits together and people would assemble them. So you can, if you're looking for new customers, you always start with what I'd call your circle of influence. And those are people that are your influences in your life. That's the best place to start for anybody. That's the most successful way to start. So if I was going to open up a new boutique, of course, I'm going to go to all my family, friends, neighbors, coworkers, everybody around me, and invite them to come and share and support me. When I was doing this, I asked my friends to support me, like you need to. So it'd be the same thing when you start your Stampin' Up business online, and you can offer it with these kits so that the work is done. It's no risk. You don't have to schedule a party and cut and pack and prep for 10 people and only have 2 show. This one, they buy the kits in advance. So whoever buys them, they buy them and then they show up. And if they don't show up, it's okay. They can still make their kit at home on their own time because all the instructions are in there. They don't even have to show up. So I do believe that this tool is one of the best ways we have right now to find new customers online quickly. The other avenues to build your business online take time. Ashley, I'm sure you agree that with any industry, if you're building your business online from scratch, it takes years of dedication. Some people might jumpstart faster if they have a lot of online knowledge or if they have a lot of talent. But typically it takes time and consistency of putting your product out there to build your followers. So
it's funny that you say that, because so for those of you who don't know, we do these Discover Live events for creators of all stripes in every industry you can think of. And I have done a handful, and so many people say exactly the same thing that you're saying right now, Rhonda, which is, yeah, there might be 2 or 3 or a half a dozen people in this space who just became instantly, successful overnight with gaining followers, but that's not actually how it works. Time and consistency seem to be a really common thread. And so being able to kind of frame that for yourself as like, okay, this is what I want to do, this is what it's going to look like, is, I think, a really helpful piece of advice. Yeah.
Because how we're successful, at least in our industry, is when people buy our product. And that's how we get paid. We get paid when people buy our product. And so when you're starting from scratch, Alex, you have to be able to formulate the product in such a way that people want to buy it. And that can be difficult, with even more so with paper crafting, because there's ink and paper and stamps and adhesive and a trimmer and a cleaner. There's all these different things. And that can sometimes be, well, it is overwhelming for somebody who's new. And that's why I think these kits are so powerful to help people from scratch. And if you're online, you show the kit and then you give the link and people purchase it, and they have everything they need to be successful. And so they're going to be happier and you're going to be happier, so that they are able to purchase more kits. Or eventually, like I said, it's the gateway drug to want to get them into our huge crafting world that we have out there, but we have to have something that gets them there. And these are a perfect answer for that.
So keeping on the theme of kits, I'm curious to know, and Cheryl brought this up as well, if you are ready to take the step toward making your own kits, and you're starting out and you want to sell these, when you start out, are you making all of those component parts yourself? How do you kind of establish what your production pipeline looks like?
Well, obviously, for doing those kits and classes on your own, it does come from somebody who understands what goes into a class, right? So you will probably have ran classes your own face-to-face, or maybe you have lots of people buy my online classes just so they can learn how to duplicate them, right? And so lots of people will purchase and buy and figure it out. So when you ship your own, I do prepare a lot of the components for them. But then there's a lot of them, again, that I include products. We use exclusively Stampin' Up! Products. So like I showed you, I will include the ribbon, the jewels, the paper, and I include all of it. So then when they go to make it, then when they're done, they have all this left over that they can continue to keep that creative process going. And so as with any class, I personally start off with, what product do I want to include? What do I want to feature? Which is usually around a season. It's usually around what you would work ahead of time. So for instance, now we're doing, some fall and Halloween type things coming up, because people will want those next month, so they can work ahead. So they'll be all ready to go.
I heard you say you're already doing the Christmas cards and everything.
Oh, yeah. So we do work a little bit ahead, but some people start with their designs first. I don't. I start with, what product do I want to work around? What paper, what ribbon, what embellishments, what gems, what stamp set, and I use only those in my kit. So that's how I come up with the components. So to answer your question, is I start with that, and then I design a class. It might be 4 cards, 5 cards, 6 cards, whatever it is, with just those components. And then that way they will get the components that they need. They'll have to provide usually the stamp set or the ink. So if they don't own it, they're going to have to buy it. Or if they might have a huge collection, they might have something similar. But then I do prepare the pieces, the cardstock, circles, stars, things like that. We prepare that for them, and we organize it and package it so that they can open up their envelope, and then all the pieces they need are in there ready for them to assemble.
Cool. And on a troubleshooting note, do you ever have, this is something that Vicky is bringing up. Do you have instances where folks who are coming to your classes maybe went rogue and got a different kit from what you're assembling? And how do you kind of navigate that? Are you trying to teach two at the same time? Or?
No, I actually encourage that. When I do my kit classes, I encourage them to purchase any of the kits. Again, this concept is it's a kit making night, and it's a card making night, or it's a paper crafting night, a girls' night out with friends. It could be a Friday night margarita night with cards. It's an event. And when these new kits have their own website, so we can send them to a website and they can pick and choose whatever kits they want. I do not need to teach at all because the instructions are there. I may have some with me. The cool part is on these, and I've already experienced this because I've been doing research for a couple months, is that somebody will be making one and they'll be like, oh, I love that one. I got this one. Oh, I love that one. So it's actually beneficial when people get all different kinds of kits.
There you go, Vicky.
So I would actually probably choose one that someone didn't have so that I could show it off afterwards. And then if someone is struggling with something that is in their kit that they can't figure out, which, guys, these are so easy. There's no struggling. There's instructions there. It's so easy. So that, I would obviously, I have made all of the kits. You don't have to. They're that simple that you don't necessarily, it's going to be really easy for them. And they just work on their own, whichever one that they pick.
So I love that because in a way, this is reminding me of how my approach to working with students teaching is like you want people to get there on their own, but you can highlight certain things that help them arrive at the same conclusion that you've arrived at, which is all of these kits are amazing, yes. And worth your time. And one of the benefits that you get to highlight, if, like Vicky was asking about, you have people show up with different kits, is, hey, we can still have this great experience together with everybody doing their kind of their own thing, and we can inspire each other with new ideas. And then you're, in addition to keeping the flow of the evening, you're also giving folks the best kind of like marketing that there is, which is just exposure to and word of mouth about the different products, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, we lost. We lost Rhonda. So while we wait for Rhonda to hop back on, I do see Leslie, your question. There she is. Hello.
Sorry, my internet must have kicked me out, but I got right back in, so that worked out.
Yeah, good. that was an impressive. I was ready to do some vamping.
I thought maybe we hit 1 hour, and they're like, "That's it, you're done. It's been an hour."
No, we're just about there, but and it looks like we have a lot of folks kind of commenting about, like, I love what Alex is saying. Oh, I'm seeing the light and being successful with kits. It makes a lot more sense as a way to kind of even help build your online business and those different components that we chatted about. And I also like what Leslie Ann mentioned here about selling a kit class online. You sell it as a get together instead of a class of teaching, which, my background is in communication training. Everything is about framing, right? Mm-hmm. And when you're trying to build an online business, or an in-person business, what a treat to be able to say, hey, let's just get together with this group of people, and it'll be a chance for bonding, or, like you said, Rhonda, margaritas. And while we're chatting, we're going to do this kit. Here's the link.
It's whatever the hostess wants. It could be a family that wants to get together because they of COVID, they're all over the country, and so the family is getting together. Over Christmas time, my whole family, there was, I don't know, about 16 of us, women of the family. We got together and did candle making over Zoom, and she showed us all of our pieces ahead of time, and we all just got together and made candles. Like it's a social gathering. Like I didn't need another candle, but I wanted to be able to gather with my family and do something fun that we all got to do together. So Leslie is absolutely right. The marketing for this is sky high. It's not about teaching. I mean, it can be, but really, again, you don't need to teach, which takes all this pressure off of us. It takes so many people like, I'm not teaching, I'm not pushy, I can't. I'm like, you don't have to be. These are all, they do it themselves.
I love that. I'm seeing the possibility of something that might unite the women in my family and keep us from like this could be a great activity for us, because typically when we get together, there's bickering, and I think maybe getting together over craft and like an activity like candle making could be a great approach. I might have to try this myself. I think we've covered all of the questions. I know that we're at time here. So I just want to thank all of you, the audience, for joining us. Really speaks volumes to this community that you have helped to build here, Rhonda, that so many of these folks have been in this orbit for years, and in some cases more than a decade. And everybody has such great ideas and was really active and engaged in the comments and asking great questions. Just a reminder to everyone that there is a replay of this available. So if you want to kind of, watch it again, or if you are just joining, or if you weren't able to make the live, but you want to make sure that you're collecting this wisdom from Rhonda about how to really use kits to grow your business, you've got that option available. There also is a link to the one-time course that Rhonda mentioned, and I also put into the chat her website where you can access all of the different trainings, which is something that I think, as you've seen today, is a really powerful learning approach, right? Which is this kind of, a one-off thing is great, but then you also have access to this very vibrant community when you are looking at the other trainings and kind of ongoing learning opportunities that Rhonda offers through her site. So definitely check those out. And thank you all so much for joining us. Rhonda, any final words of wisdom or pieces of advice for our friends here today?
Well, first, thanks. And thank you, Ashley, and Teachable. I've loved, I started Teachable this year. Yay. And it's been a great way for me to be able to deliver my content and to do it in a user-friendly way, obviously. But I do believe in support. No matter what industry you're in, to have somebody in your side that's working it with you. And again, like you said, this whole community, we have hundreds and thousands in our Creating Success training program. And I really believe in also drip type training. I don't want to, if you crash listen to trainings and you do it for 5 days in a row, you are going to become frozen. And so that's why I do this weekly. So if you do purchase the course, it doesn't even start for 2 weeks. And every week I only do one training a week with action steps and then homework. And then I don't do the next one for another week, because if you don't take action on steps 1, 2, and 3, then guess what? Steps 4, 5, and 6, and 7 are not going to work. So if you do join in, I would love that. We are very action oriented and but simple. They're things that that anybody can do. So thank you guys for having me and for being here. And I am just humbled that you guys spent the afternoon with me. I appreciate it.
Yay! Thank you so much for, like I said, your generosity. It really is such a lovely experience to be able to share in your wisdom and enthusiasm. And it is inspiring to see that after 20 years of doing this, you're still finding all of these new and engaging and enchanting elements to be motivated by. So I think that's a great thing to show, even to this entire community, whether you're brand new or you've been around for years doing this kind of work. So thank you, Rhonda, for everything you've shared with us today. And thank you all for joining us. We
right.
will. And if you like this kind of event, like and subscribe to the Discover YouTube channel, because we have creators, Rhonda, this is not the first one she's done. I'm hoping it won't be the last either. And if you're part of that list, then we'll keep you posted about all of the great creators and opportunities we have to kind of learn and continue to engage your brain and keep your mind inspired. So thank you all for joining us. Rhonda, if you wouldn't mind sticking around for just a minute as we say goodbye here. Hope you have a great rest of the day, everyone. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.